What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another week of the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again with another episode of Hero or Zero. This is the show where we choose one comic book character every single week. We talk their good points and their bad points, and we generally just give you a bit of a rundown of everything to do with that character. I am joined as always by my best man, Mr. Shaun Mead. Shaun, how's it going?
Going good, Conor. I'm glad you're back on your feet. You were a little bit
I'm back.
under the weather last week.
I was absolutely dying last week, to be honest with you, and I'm really glad you took that. Thank you very much, because it was my week. I was meant to do something, and then I was in bed all day. And then I said, Shaun needs the extra work.
Shaun's putting together a reel, so we need to get him speaking as much as possible.
I'm looking at like an internship of unpaid. I'm giving you exposure. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was looking out for you.
Don't worry about it, lad. It'll all trickle down.
So if you missed that, you can go back and listen to Shaun's episode last week with all of his sultry tones. It's absolutely lovely.
They are sultry.
Unfortunately, you are stuck with me this week because I am recovered. But if it's your first episode, you don't have to do anything. Chill out. If it's your second or above, we'd really appreciate 5 stars, a like, a follow, a share. Whatever way you want to support the show, that would be absolutely amazing. One thing, Shaun, I want to give everyone a massive thank you for turning up to the Patreon hangout last week.
I would also like to thank you for that. He got in first.
Shaun said he actually regretted your presence.
He said, what make me the bad guy, why don't you?
No, so everyone, if you missed it, we had a Patreon hangout where all the patrons got an invite to come hang out with us in a Google Meet for 2 hours, and we basically just shot the shit. We voted on best movie of the year, worst movie of the year, just silly stuff like that. We had biggest zero of the year and biggest hero of the year, which went to one of us, and it wasn't me.
You bastards.
They were nice to him, which angered me more.
Man of the people, Conor, what can I say? You make us all feel bad about ourselves. I lift us up.
There's a poster like you, just like engraved, looking into the distance, as a leader.
Kind of a propaganda style figure, I'm going
if you wanted to say it like that, yeah. So we had an absolutely great time. Thank you to everyone who showed up, and there'll be another one later on in the year. So if you're a Patreon, you get an automatic invite. If you want to get an invite to anything like that, just please become a patron, and then you automatically get invited in.
You also get movie reviews and stuff like that every month.
Oh yeah, all the extra content. There's a bunch of extra bonus content over there as well.
Stuff over there.
But Shaun, also, top 10 weird news stories happened on Monday.
Didn't it just? It wasn't that very well edited together.
There's lots of things happening. If you missed that, that's a whole collection of the top 10 weird news stories of the year that we voted on. Were voted on by you guys. And this was your favourite stories that we have covered over 2024. They got put in a nice little episode. It's 2.5 hours long.
It's bumper episode. Maybe I'm biased, right? But I was listening back to that while editing, and some of those are just genuinely fucking funny.
You listen to yourself, you're like, this guy knows what he's talking about.
He's saying what we're all thinking.
Let the man speak. So if you want to listen to that, that's absolutely great. It's a really good intro to any new time listeners who just want a bit of a comedy podcast, a bit of a laugh. There's timestamps, I think, in the description, Shaun.
Oh, there is.
So you could just go to story 1 if you want. That's the best story of the year, but you can kind of go through them. They're all a bit of crack. But now, for some Hero or Zero, Shaun, it's, as I said, we choose one comic book character every single week. And I normally choose DC characters, and Shaun, you normally choose Marvel characters.
True.
I'm saying normally.
Oh.
Because for 1 week and 1 week only, Shaun, I am going to be doing a Marvel character.
Oh, I don't like this at all. He's coming for my bit.
I didn't like it myself. I felt dirty doing it. It
Why?
wasn't you. I was thinking about you the whole time when I was putting this report together.
I'd rather you didn't, to be honest.
I'd rather you just never thought of me. Ever.
I'll come onto the Google Meet every couple of days. That's all you need to think of me.
But what this is a very special episode because it's actually one of our very, very earliest episodes. Maybe right. I think episode maybe 10 or 11 of this actual podcast. 2018. I think December 2018 was the original release date of this character. For the episode.
For the episode, not in comics.
Not the character's been around since 1983, but we covered him on episode like 11.
Who? It's not Doom, is it? No, it's not Doom.
No, why would
83?
I'm doing Spider-Man. Imagine I took that from you. No, you're never going to guess it, Shaun, because...
Oh, no, I know exactly who it is.
No, you don't.
I do. I have to.
He has a big truck. But anyway, we are... So, all the way back then, that episode no longer exists. You can't get it anywhere. And a few weeks ago, over on Blue Sky, which we're seeing loads of engagement over there, lots of people are joining us, one of our kind listeners sent us in, it's not a tweet, I don't know what it is called, the Blue Sky.
I think it's called a post.
It said there's a post. And they said, have you ever done the character of US Archer?
Yep. I knew.
And I said, we have, but nobody can ever see it. Nobody can listen to that episode other than me and you.
So you thought, why not introduce a whole new generation of listeners to the madness that is US Archer?
You're goddamn right. Because it's one of our favourite reports I think we've ever done, because
I
it's a
remember
character.
vividly recording this report because we went really late talking about it and I nearly
because
missed my
it's
train.
such a stupid character, but also just as a Hero Zero goes, it's one of our favourite things of terrible character, terrible idea, but just you gotta respect it. They just went all in and they just went for it.
Clearly some TV series with a truck was popular in the 80s and they were like, we gotta capitalise on this.
I think, so since 2018, Shaun, I have gotten better at reports, I like to think. And okay. I have found,
Debatable.
well, I think I did them lying down back then. So I'm now sitting up. So, Shaun, US 1 was the name of the comic book, first premiering in February of 1983. The creators were Al Milgrom and Herb Trimpe. And Ulysses Solomon Archer is the character we're going to be talking,
Great
otherwise known
name.
as US Archer, because US motherfucking A.
It's the most USA comic of all time.
Of all time, yes. So US 1, the comic, was born in the licensing mad days of the 1980s. That most goofy of decades, Shaun, when expanding a property's brand and thereby making more money was the name of the game, which is kind of the same name now. In this instance, Tyco, maker of many fine models and ties, had a line of electric slot racing trucks under the US 1 banner at the time.
Right. So this is like Scale Extrix, like electrified cars going around the track.
Yeah, kind of like that, yeah. So they knocked on Marvel's door, and the Marvel people looked at each other, shrugged their shoulders and said, why the fuck not?
They said, we're Marvel in the 80s, we're never going to go downhill.
We literally have no money. They're slowly running out of money and starting to sell some just storage facilities. They're like, Ironman isn't out until 2008. It's 1983. 25 years ago.
We've got so long to wait for Ironman to come out.
We're all going to be dead. So Marvel looked at each other and they said, why the hell not? We can make a comic book based off, I don't know, a truck called US 1, and the comic series was born. The book is narrated from the perspective of one of the characters, otherwise known as Ed Wheeler, who's a porky older gentleman who's both US's surrogate father and kind of his Obi-Wan Kenobi, if in a weird way.
Right. Okay, just an old trucker dude.
Yeah. So your first inclination going into the comic, Shaun, is this is going to be stupid, awful, and everything else. Correct?
I mean, well, I'm biased. I know the thrilling highs and crushing lows of US Archer.
That's the tagline. The thrilling highs. Indeed, the fine folks at Cracked, noted arbiters of all things terrible, once ranked US 1 number 5 on their list of the 7 worst comic superheroes of all time.
Me and you have been through that article, by the way, talking about all of those bad characters.
We've tried to get through all of them. He is number 5.
Yeah.
But I will say that having read the issues this time around, Shaun, I will say that I think Milgrom, the writer, and Trimpe, who does the art, I think after like page 5, they very much grasp the silliness of the concept and then they just run with it. They go all in on it, and there's a weird part of me that kind of respects that.
I mean, the We might have said this in the original report, but who the fuck remembers that? It sounds like it was Fast and Furious before Fast and Furious was a thing.
Vin Diesel, I'm assuming, read these 11 issues just when he was young.
Starts fairly maybe grounded and straight-laced and then lean into, oh no, this is ridiculous.
Milgram rode the book to its bitter end, the last issue, the 11th issue, along the way partnering with a variety of artists, including one Steve Ditko for the finale, which saw US Archer in outer space. Riggs in space was what it was called.
I mean, it is Fast and Furious, though.
The series has recurring villains, a hot chick with a whip, resurrected villains, resurrected Joker-like villains that just never die, and it was just kind of all like betrayals. You have a big Dios mio, look at the camera moment halfway through. It's a fucking fantastic run of issues.
Big fan of one of those in a comic.
So, US Archer, Shaun. Ulysses Solomon Archer, but I'm going to call him US Archer for the rest of this report.
Ulysses because of his great journey, and Solomon because of his wisdom.
I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure this is what Christopher Nolan's next movie is based off of.
It'd have to be, wouldn't it? No, that is Odysseus, but
he's close enough. I'm so close.
Knowing this, it could be like President Ulysses S. Grant is what it comes from.
So US and his older brother Jefferson are the sons of a pair of truck drivers. US idolized his older brother and thought he let him win all the time to make him feel good. However, Jefferson is too humiliated to admit that his little brother genuinely beats him at everything, but he won't say it out loud.
It's kind of a nice way to exist. They're both happy.
Even as a child, US wanted to be a truck driver. His parents instead insisted he get a good education. When their parents, however, are killed in an accident, US and Jefferson are informally adopted by two characters that you're going to really want to remember the name of, Shaun. Shaun, who are their surrogate parents that take them in?
I only remember Papa Wheelie.
That's right. Papa Wheelie and Wide Load Annie.
Wide Load Annie, that's her.
So Papa Wheelie and Wide Load Annie, they take in the two lads, right? We're aware of the names. Just go with it, okay?
Yeah,
they were the owners of a truck stop that the parents frequented when they were driving, called the Short Stop. Jefferson, at the time, took a job driving a truck so US could go to college. Bigger brother looking out for little brother. Jefferson at this point though hates US, blaming him for making him give up his own dreams because he just has to go to college to pay for his better, younger, smarter, more handsome brother to go off and be something else.
But surely then they could trade and then he could do college after, you know?
Shh. We're trying to build a villain who's got an arch nemesis.
I'm just saying, I think it's a fabricated conflict and I don't
believe it. It was the 80s, men didn't talk. US was the college's quarterback. The college's star quarterback, and he graduated with many degrees.
How long was he in college for?
He's the best at everything.
He's just the greatest man in the world.
He's just the greatest man in the world. He's just the fucking Bob Diggity. Everyone's looking at him going, you are the best, right? A group of aliens, Shaun.
Of course it's the Marvel report. Has the bunch of aliens.
You can't blame me this time because it's your fucked up stuff, right? I just went to drive straight into that really quickly so nobody would pick up on it. But a group of aliens came to Earth seeking to recruit. Now remember, this is a story up until this point that just has two young lads who like trucking, and they get adopted.
Dead parents.
And they have dead parents and they get adopted, but they're just like two young lads in rural America. They don't really have anything else in terms of like there's no superpowers at this point. There's nothing that makes them extraordinary.
Except for the fact that Ulysses is the greatest human ever born.
Yeah, but he's the best as a human. He's not even like super jacked. He's just the best at quarterbacking and driving and stuff. And then you turn the page in the comic book And a group of aliens have come to Earth seeking to recruit truck drivers to become starship pilots in their fleet, Shaun. Led by an alien called Al. They wanted to recruit US, but they got Jefferson instead. Since to them, all humans look alike.
Alright, first of all, racist. Second
okay.
of all...
I don't see colour, they said. Taking Jefferson.
It's like, oh, we got Jefferson. We got the shit one.
This is the one everyone hates. They customised his truck with advanced technology, taught him how to use it. Jefferson worried that the aliens would realise their mistake, so he tried to keep his distance from US.
I just want to be someone.
This is one time somebody chose him, and then he realises that they actually meant to pick his brother, and that breaks his heart more. So he decides, keep my distance from US. He's going to become a villain known as the Highwayman, and he named his truck the Black Rig.
Pretty cool. Name, truck, all of it. Love it.
After college, US went on a ride with Jefferson, and they were ran off the road by the Black Rig. And I know what you're thinking, Shaun, but Jefferson
he's the commander of the rig.
The truck was actually under Jefferson's control with a dummy in the seat to pretend like he's the driver.
Exactly like Jefferson, am I right? The big fucking idiot.
The big fucking dummy in the passenger seat.
Fucking loser that no one likes.
So the truck went over a cliff and US was severely injured in the crash. The dazed US looked up to the cliff to see the Highwayman, Jefferson had now changed his outfit, and some demons mocking him. The demons were actually the aliens that were beginning to realise their mistake and were trying to contact US to tell him that they wanted him instead. But the Highwayman, or Jefferson, was like, no.
Yeah, okay.
I'm the one you want.
They're just shouting down from the top of the mountain, no, this guy sucks.
Why'd you give us Jefferson? Jeffers shit, more like. The aliens took US to a hospital where they replaced his shattered skull with a metal one that could pick up CB transmissions.
So his main power is that he can always hear a ham radio.
You're goddamn right he can, through his teeth. Jefferson then persuaded the aliens to keep him and let him prove that he was better than US, even though now US technically has some sort of weird satellite brain that can pick up only radios.
Would it help in space, though?
Would it help in any way? Because, I mean, it's not really a power. He just can listen to the radio now.
From anywhere. But if you're driving a truck, you have the radio in the truck.
They do normally come with radios. That's normally their main feature.
I don't know. I think you'd be better off without it, to be honest.
If anything, it's more annoying.
Can he turn that off or down? Like, what's the volume?
I think he can, but it's his power, Shaun. Leave him alone, right? So, armed with this new ability, US resolves to seek justice, both for him and his dead brother. Because, Shaun, at this point, he thinks Jefferson has died in the crash. Because now the Highwayman is the only thing that he sees.
Highwayman, I respect you. You remind me of my shit brother who no one loved.
You're not like him in certain ways, and that you're good, and he was a particularly shit.
Now that he's gone, I can safely confirm. I always thought he was awful.
Of all the people I've met, he's definitely the worst, because he was shit. Right? Don't you agree, Highwayman? High five. Yes.
The Highwayman has to high five, otherwise it all comes out.
Everyone looks suspicious. His first and last item on his hero checklist is acquiring and outfitting his own rig. The amazing US-1 rig, Shaun. With his own semi-genius know-how and Papa Wheelie and Wide Load Annie's help, he stocks it with all the little gizmos that you can imagine. So much so that I think even Batman would whistle and shake his head admiringly if he got in and thought, wow, what a truck. This is the best.
Is that just to get Batman into
yes,
the report somewhere?
It's DC.
Jesus Christ.
I have to give a shout out to the other company. I was thinking about them the whole time.
Again, stop thinking about things.
That's my problem. Highwayman. So Highwayman now is the evil villain, right? US Archer, he's like, I'm going to avenge my brother, kill the Highwayman who he thinks has killed his brother, and save the day. Highwayman then begins to send villains towards US to try and take him out. One of them he sent was called Midnight, and you took control of him using her hypno whip that she has.
Okay.
And she was about to kill him.
For research purposes, I'm looking up a picture of it.
Why was that already suggested?
What? No, it's incognito.
Imagine trying to explain that. Why were you looking up Midnight from US 1 comic books 1984?
But for the show.
For research, shut up. Right, leave me alone. She has a hypno whip.
That's how a woman was drawn in the 80s, yeah.
That's symmetrical. Yeah, that makes sense. So US convinced her to grant him one last request before she kills him, because she has the hypno whip on him, obviously, right? So she's about to kill him. He can't do anything. He's been mind. His brain is gone. His last request was a stick of gum, but instead he kept the gum in the foil, and then when he stuck it in his mouth, the weird radio brain that he has corresponds with the foil to make him lose the brain, the hypnosis that was.
I see what's happening here. He shorts out his own teeth and essentially defibrillates his brain.
There's no real easy way of explaining that plot. But the man puts a piece of gum in his mouth and his brain is kind of electrical, so it short circuits for some reason the hypno whip, and then he defeats her.
See, there was a thing with metal fillings. You could get shocked if you chewed foil or something. So maybe
that's exactly the reason.
I feel like that probably happened, and then it doesn't explain
why. It doesn't explain why the hypno whip loses control because he slightly short circuits his brain.
Because synapses and stuff. Your brain's made of electricity.
Works off electricity.
No, but it affects the brain.
Of course. Okay, sorry. Also, why doesn't she just whip him again?
Yeah, why doesn't she?
Show it to me. Jefferson then posed as an old trucker. So this is one of my favourite stories of Jefferson. So Jefferson is, of course, the highwayman, the brother. I'm going to call them both of them in this.
Yeah.
He then poses as an old trucker, puts himself in makeup, and starts spreading rumours that the highwayman has a real demonic past and that he's super powerful. So he's going around to truck stops telling everyone how great he is, but dressed as an old man.
I heard the highwayman's the coolest and has so many friends.
Yeah, I heard he has a girlfriend, but she doesn't go to our truck stops.
Yeah,
she goes to different truck stops.
And she's not on Facebook.
She's not on Facebook. Don't look her up. But my God, oh boys, supermodel, I think she is. That's her side job from astronaut. So US shows up and he chases the old man, in quotation marks. And he, at the time, he's being attacked by other trucks and he's being bombed by blimps, Shaun.
I forgot the blimps came into this report.
You forgot the blimps. Yeah. When he finally catches up to Jefferson, when he finally catches up to the old man, there you go, he reveals the fact that instead it's the highwayman. So he doesn't do the double reveal.
He doesn't pull off two masks. It's like
he pulls off one mask. Scooby-Doo's one mask and he's like, oh my God, it's the highwayman. But if he had Scooby-Dooed another time, it would have been, oh my God, it's Jefferson, but he doesn't quite get that far.
If he Scooby-Dooed another time, it would be a man's skull.
It would be. And he could short circuit that with a piece of gum for some reason.
That's how it works.
So, I'm going to introduce the greatest villain in these comics, Shaun, is Baron von Blimp.
Ah, yes.
Now, Baron von Blimp is no other really way to put it. As far as I could see reading the comic books, he's a bit of a Nazi. So Baron very much on the old Nazi front, and he's up against US Archer, who he doesn't like Nazis. He's not a fan of them.
Who does?
Which which I think is it's the right side of history to be on.
Anti-Nazi, yeah, I would agree.
But Baron von Blimp's whole thing, Shaun, and this might surprise you, is he loves blimps for some reason.
Very fortunately named, isn't he?
Interesting. So Baron von Blimp, he shows up and he challenges US to a race. He's like, you'll never beat me in your truck when I'm in my blimp. My blimp's way better than your truck.
I mean, what are we racing over here?
The object was to deliver chickens for the great chicken colonel.
Of course. Of course.
I'm glad you asked, Shaun, because they had to deliver chicken pieces to
the chicken colonel.
To the chicken colonel, yeah.
Right. The colonel who wants fried chicken.
No. See, they don't want to get sued, right? So this colonel is a different colonel.
Do we see the colonel?
He's the chicken colonel, and he's dressed just differently enough that we don't possibly engage in any sort of lawsuits.
Do you know what? I'll allow that one.
And they were delivering chickens for the great chicken colonel.
Okay.
Blimp cheats during the race.
I would think so, because the top speed of say a G720.
Oh, you know that's my favourite blimp. Go on.
All out top speed is 50 miles per hour.
What's a truck's top speed? 70?
A truck? How fast can a truck go?
But lad, he's going over land that there's no roads on. He can just go over dirt.
Trucks about 75 miles per hour.
There you go. So like, when you think about it, it's a pretty close race. I think the Baron has it.
I mean, the Baron has it in that he's in the sky. Yeah.
Yeah. However, if there's a slight, I don't know, gust of wind or something, he's kind of fucked.
Yeah. Like, that's a risk you take with a dirigible, though, isn't it?
That's true. So US easily wins the race, unfortunately. So that's the end of Baron von Blimp. But later, go on, Shaun. You have
no, sorry. I just learned there's only 25 blimps left in the world.
How was that? How is that helpful for what we're doing?
Sorry, I'm going to close the tab. We can go back to the report now.
You would just keep delving into that.
Yeah.
If I just left you alone, by the end of the report, you'd be like, so the A14-3, there's only 4 of them left. They're in South America. They'd be mainly there. So anyway, Conor, what are you interested in?
Komatsu Dozers that one time.
Yeah. If you don't know what we're talking about, there's a weird news episode where Shaun gets really into they're diggers, basically. Diggers,
yeah, or dozers.
Tractors.
Yeah.
Dozers, yeah. Just
there's all kinds of terms we can apply to it, Conor.
You're an expert, you know. So I think I was on top 10 weird news from like 2 years ago, if you want to go check that out. So later, Midnight takes control again. Midnight shows back up, Shaun. You're going to like this. And she takes control of the shortstop, and she challenges US to redeem herself because she's been defeated once. So she's like, I'm going to get him this time, and then I'll finally be a real, the biggest villain ever.
Yeah. Okay.
US defeats her again easily, using his CB skull to remote control his truck somehow to defeat her.
Again, this man's skull can do whatever power it needs to do.
The power of his skull is whatever the story needs him to do, and I think that's the greatest power you can possibly have.
He's kind of got Inspector Gadget powers a little bit.
He's got like the Mr. Magoo powers. He just kind of survives.
Everything works out for Ulysses.
Yeah. US and the people at the shortstop fight Midnight, and then Baron von Blimp shows up, and his neo-Nazis all come up too, and US learns to use his skull to control Midnight's whip at the same time to defeat them all. Shaun, you're giving me a look. He just learns how to do it.
Just learns how to control leather with his brain.
Yeah, that's how electricity works.
Leather's an insulator.
I think I just found out the way. Shut the fuck up, Shaun. That's how he does it. Interesting.
They knew I'd be listening.
At the time, Midnight has a big mask on, and they're like, who the fuck is Midnight? We need to find out who she is, because she's so evil.
Yeah.
And they unmask her, and they reveal her to be actually the shortstop waitress herself, Mary McGrill.
Oh. Again, born for the role.
He couldn't really work in car sales.
No, could maybe sell accessories for the front of your teeth.
Could be a dentist, technically. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, that's pretty good. George Foreman really needs to get Mary on the phone. But Mary McGrill is a waitress at the shortstop. And then we find out, Shaun, because now we're Dios Mioing over and over again looking directly at the camera. Because not only is Mary McGrill midnight, but Mary McGrill was innocent and has been under her own hypno control from the highwayman all this time. So the highwayman was controlling Mary McGrill to become midnight with a hypno whip to then take control of US Archer. Don't tell me that doesn't make sense. It's the best plot I've ever read.
And her motivation was to be the biggest criminal, but the highwayman made her think she wanted to be the biggest criminal?
Yeah, and at the same time he was like, and also I heard the highwayman, billionaire.
It's so cool.
He's so cool. Like everyone, and I was walking down the street and 3 people said to me, "Did you see the highwayman? He is so cool." That's what he said to her.
I heard he has 10 girlfriends.
He can't even move for his girlfriends. So Jefferson is then revealed to be the highwayman. At the same time it all comes out, Shaun.
This is like the last issue, like they're really trying to wrap everything up.
Really rushing their way through it. This is issue 10.
Of 11, I hear.
Jefferson starts to explain his actions, but he notices that he's being followed by the aliens. Seeing this, Jefferson goes into a blind rage and starts strangling US. The aliens subdue Jefferson and they bring them both back to the shortstop, and there the aliens explain the mix-up to the both of them. And then the issue ends with the aliens arranging one last contest between them. Basically, the Black Rig won versus the US won. They're going to go to
now
race
as part of a set.
They're going to go on a race that circles the globe and goes into space.
I mean, why not? Seems like the easiest way to resolve things.
And Mary's shocked at this. She's like, "Oh my god, I heard the highwayman doesn't have time for races."
I heard he's too busy being in love all the time.
Being an absolute legend is what I heard. So the highwayman and US Archer go on this amazing race. And Jefferson takes the lead, but the US gets the hang of space flight quicker and takes over, furious and refusing to lose again. He's
naturally good at everything.
He's just the best. If I'm Jefferson, I'm also kind of pissed. I think this guy's a bit of a dickhead. Jefferson, who's very mad at this point, tries to ram US and kill them both, which I think at this point, this is where it lost me.
This is where it lost you.
Because they're on a race to space and Jefferson tries to run him off the road on a road to space.
Into the moon.
It's funny you say that, Shaun, because US dodges and the highwayman crashes into the moon.
Of course he does. It's the only thing to crash into. And he's shit.
He's the worst. After US is declared the winner, the aliens revealed why they wanted truckers. US and most of the crew at the shortstop are taken to space, where they rename the shortstop as the Star Shop. And sometime after leaving Earth, US married Mary McGrill. So they got together in the end.
Hell yeah, they did.
Yeah, and my last little bit on US Archer is that this is my one piece of trivia that I could find on US Archer, and that looking to change his career in the 90s, US applied to be the nanny of Luke Cage and Jessica Jones's baby, Danielle, but did not get the job.
That job instead went to Squirrel Girl.
He could not get the job. What can he do? Like he didn't have the
qualifications has he to look after a child?
He drove to space.
Everyone's been to space.
And that's my report on US Archer. If you'd like to hear his abilities, Shaun, because I have college level engineer, skilled driver, proficient fighter. He can kind of just punch people a little bit. Metal plated skull. After the crash, his head is highly durable to protect his brain. He gives lethal headbutts, and he can tune into the radio, changing channels by touching the fillings in his teeth with his tongue.
So he can't even just think it. He still has to mechanically control something.
You're goddamn right. Weaknesses. His metal plate is susceptible to magnets and electronic scrambling devices.
That'll work. And whips, apparently.
And whips for some reason. That's never explained, but it's hypnosis whips. So
Hypno whip.
It's a hypno whip, so that's kind of different. So Shaun, that's my introduction to the character of US Archer.
You say that's the introduction. That's the whole shebang.
Oh, sorry, that's all of the issues.
Conor, I love US Archer enough that I'll forgive you for stealing a Marvel report from me.
It's the only character I've ever done from Marvel, but it's the one closest to my heart.
Is Doorman Marvel?
Well, Doorman might be Marvel as well. I'm not quite sure. It was the Wild Wild West back then. I did Doorman as well.
We were taking all comers at that point.
Yeah, we weren't picky.
No. That was a very good report, Conor. Would you like me to take us out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you everyone for listening to this episode of Hero or Zero. We will be back on Monday with the Heroes for Hire podcast, and next Friday with another episode of Hero or Zero. Big thank you to everyone over on Patreon, patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. Link to that in the description. Helps us to keep making the show, helps us to keep ads off the show. Thank you to everyone who came for the hangout. We really, really appreciated that, and it was great to see you and just have a chat. There's also a merch store, heroesforhire.ie/shop. Twitter's @HeroesForHirePod, the 4 is the number 4. Facebook is Detective Divilment's discussion group. Instagram is Heroes for Hire podcast, and the best way to ever help out the show is to tell one human being that we exist.
Just a one, please.
I think that's about it, Conor.
I think so. So I've been Conor Lawler.
I've been Shaun Neal.
We shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.